It's almost time. I just gotta send out the call. No, I do not want to open Steam. Thank you very much. I hate when I misclick. Gondor calls for aid. But will Rohan answer? Oh, I can close that. Oop, looks like I accidentally closed my Twitter on this one. All right. That's all the socials. Now for the Discords. The Discord. Discord, are you my friend alone? Or are you just a stepping stone to taking back the throne? Honestly, Discord is nobody's friend, but Discord channels are a great place to have friends. Boop, 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 boop. Need some of these. I'm streaming, right? It's kind of okay. Some of the links aren't working like they usually do when I stream. This is the wrong. This is the tabletop channel. This is for the other blog. Gotta say, had an experience today that most of the scammers that show up on streams get pretty transparent pretty quickly. I had one today that went the extra mile though. I'm gonna. Pertinent content. One of my friends posted a ton of VTubers reacting to Path of Exile skill tree. It's a skill universe. I'm going to have to take a look at that. I'm going to have to watch that when I'm done. We're not going to do any React content on this stream, but this is all about the vlog. But one of my Discord friends was just said like, that's enough. That's enough self-promotion out of you. And that's fair. That is absolutely fair. I was not intending to dominate that channel. There's a few Discords I'm on where there's like the gaming channel doesn't get used a lot, and I'm like the only person who's posting, and it's literally just all of my posts of when I'm streaming. All right. Alrighty then. Where am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Ah, shoot. Hold on. Hold on a moment. I did something stupid. I did a dumb. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to try to do this permanently. This is one of the reasons why I'm planning for this to be a short-term project. Short-term as in potentially all the way through PoE Endgame. There we go. There. The dumb is undone. All right. Make sure everything else is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and close this just to make sure I'm saving on that. Let's see here. These are my notes for the other project I'm working on. All right. Just trying to save as much bandwidth for when I actually start playing. Okie dokie. All right. I think we're back in business. Oh, somebody sent me a message. I'll look at that off stream. Or more than likely there's a thread or something going on. All right. Let me take a look at this real quick. Okay, just somebody else confirming a bug I reported. Okay. Yeah, there's not sure if a bug or intended, but quality flask can't currently be salvaged. So, all right. And just refresh that, get rid of the message thing. We've got patch notes again. Like, this is really happening really quickly. I am astounded. I'm astounded at how fast GGG is doing this. Let's get my mic in the proper place this time. I went through a large portion of the last stream with my mic over in the yonder, so the sound was probably weird. All right. So, general improvements and changes. Passive block chance now applies to blockable hits from all directions as opposed to just hits from the front. I could have sworn they had some passives built around that, so now I'm not sure how that works. They might have to change some of those passives. But I thought that was kind of how they were intending. They were intending to make it facing important. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess this is one of those things where they, especially if you're coming from other games, having your passive block only work from the front is probably a bit of a surprise, and it's not like they really explain that anywhere. So I honestly would not object to them rolling this back myself, but I don't know. It is definitely more convenient, but I think if they explain how block works better at some point, then they could roll this back. Because I do think it's okay to have facing mattering. But I think a lot of action RPG players, you come from basically any other action RPG, including classic PoE, block protects you from all attacks. Like you just get your passive block chance against all attacks. But I think they were trying to balance block was I'm worried. I am worried that if they have passive block affect you from all directions, it's going to make shields too powerful. That's my worry. But we'll have to see. We'll see how it works. Player size is now set to 0 units while dodge rolling instead of 1 unit. Now this sounds like they've enabled phasing. They've not. You can still be blocked. Monsters can still get in your way while you are rolling. What this lets you do is it lets you more easily do things like roll between creatures' legs. It lets you more easily roll between gaps in a monster line. It gives you more opportunities to escape and not get surrounded. It does not mean you cannot get surrounded. And I am among the group that I am worried where if they add phasing too much into the game, players will just rush through content and then, of course, be underleveled for things like boss fights and stuff like that, and then they'll complain about that. So I am worried that about phasing, but this is not phasing. This just gives you more tactical options when it comes to trying to escape an ambush or something like that. Same thing with this one. I've run into this too, and this was actually one that confused me because it was my understanding that pushing was a thing, and I've seen monsters push me around. And I have pushed some monsters around. One of the big things for pushing is pushing flying monsters with my rolling slam. I've definitely noticed that happening a lot. And I've even pushed some smaller monsters with rolling slam. It was my understanding that was supposed to happen during dodge roll too, that if you dodge rolled into a smaller monster, it was supposed to push it. So I was confused that it wasn't. So this to me is just making the game play the way like I think we all thought it was supposed to, based on interviews and previews that we'd seen. So this is also really good. I'm glad this is in the game. Again, I think that's how it was supposed to work originally, but something got missed or something like that. So inscribed alternations, inscribed ultimatums, and Jin Baryas now display whether you will obtain ascendancy skill points upon completing the Trial of Chaos or the Trial of Sekhmet, respectively. This is good. I think there were a lot of people who were thinking, oh, if I need to get more skill points, I just need to do the trial again. No, you have to do a higher tier. Doing a trial of a lesser tier or of a basic tier will not get you more skill points. You have to do the higher tier trial. So that's actually one thing I'm wondering about, whether or not what the tier of the Trial of Chaos will be. Since I've completed the Trial of the Sekhmet, will I get a tier 2 Trial of Chaos when I go to do the Trial of Chaos in Act 3? Because if it's a tier 1 Trial of Chaos, I'm still going to do it because I want to experience the content and report on it. But, if it's a tier 1 Trial of Chaos, you're not going to get an ascendancy point from it. It has to be tier 2. And then it has to be tier 3 of either trial for the 3rd point or tier 4 for the 4th point. Removed world map pins for encounters that were not from specific locations in area, i.e. from monster drops. Improved attack in place behavior. Rain of Arrows and Firestorm now have a hit rate limit to prevent cases of them absolutely obliterating very large bosses. This will have little to no impact outside of boss fights with very large hitboxes. So you can't shotgun down bosses with these anymore. It's not that the skills are bad now, or that they're not good. It's that they're no longer too good. They will behave more consistent. You will get more consistent damage from them as opposed to having massive spikes from them when you're fighting a big boss. Leech has been buffed. Yes. Since I'm melee, I need my Leech. Bone Shatter more reliably hits your target. This is something I have been noticing. That it occasionally Bone Shatter will not target where it's supposed to. Most of the time when I've experienced this, it's because I had lock-on enabled. I'd been fighting a boss or a rare. I turned lock-on on, and then I forgot to turn it off. But every so often, Bone Shatter will target something other than the marked target. The duration of Armor Break has been increased to 12 seconds, previously 6. So I will be able to take more advantage of combos there. To improve performance, Incinerate now creates circular areas of ignited ground instead of segments. Okay, so I guess that was causing some frame issues, essentially creating, multiple tiles of burning ground. Now it's going to like stack. Now it's going to move circles on them. Added control click shortcut to open currency exchange at appropriate NPCs. We have control click for Sin, for the hooded one. Now we have control click for Alva. Added a button to travel to the Trial of Chaos in the world map. Nice. Added art for close combat support. Nice. I guess that was probably something that was supposed to be and just didn't make it. Added 2D art for Defiance of Destiny Unique Amulet. Wonder what happened there. Added Ascendancy skill point as a keyword, which details how a set of Ascendancy points are obtained. So that's information in game that should be there. Good. Added search functionality for gem cutting and vendor inventories when using a controller. Keybinds for searching stash on a controller have also been updated. They're kind of weird. They do exist, but they're kind of weird. Added gem cutting restrictions option for gamepad. Added suggested supports for time of need. Updated the suggested support for Bone Storm. Added an option for opening the trade website to main menu for consoles. To the main menu for consoles, so you can now trade from consoles, it looks like. Runes now sell to vendors for more gold. Updated art for reserve life and mana. Updates the description of runes to clarify that once socketed, they cannot be replaced. I still think that should be fixed. I still think you should be able to pop them in and out like you could with gems. Again, my understanding from watching the Jonathan Rogers interviews, my understanding is that the purpose of runes is that they are fixing missing properties in your build. So if you're having trouble finding enough lightning resistance for fighting Jamun-Ra in your build, you can socket runes to get your build some lightning resistance. So I kind of want you to be able to change the runes out a bit more. Just like you could maybe even if it's a tool, even if you have to get another currency item, just like we had scours were needed to change your crafts in the crafting bench. Like, I think you should be able to reclaim your runes and resocket them to fine-tune your gear. I think runes and sockets should be that fine-tuning option. They should not be more of the, like, a more permanent option, like at trying to slam an Exalt or trying to hit a Vaal Lord. Auras and curses that affect ally or enemy resistance now display values in the skill pop-out panel. Tweak the audio of Kiwi Pets, Chimera Pets, and Baby Crowbow Pet, Baby Crowbow Pet to reduce the impact in town areas. Updating the wording on Invokers and Protect Me from Harm Ascendancy passive skill to clarify its functionality. Updated the description on Hex Blast to clarify that it only detonates a single curse per enemy in its radius. Updated the description on Fiery Death support. Reduced the defense provided to monsters by Magma Barrier modifier. I still want to know what that modifier is actually doing. I don't know if there's a way to look that up right now. Like, I don't know if we've got the encyclopedia up. I know they were talking about doing the encyclopedia. We can hit the tooltips, but Walking Goliaths no longer use their suicide attack if they are rare. Trigger gems and energy gain. Trigger gem energy gain was not in the right place and was far too easy to use ailments to trigger spells. One problem with the previous system is that if we balanced it to make triggering happening in boss fights, then the triggering would happen far too often during clearing. In order to address this, we are now making monster power part of the calculation for energy gain. This means it is far easier to trigger spells from unique monsters than it is from normal monsters, but you also hit many more normal monsters when fighting. Another issue with using low-level skills was conditional ailment applications such as Flame Wall to ignite enemies for triggering. In order to make the source of the ignite matter, we are making the energy gain be dependent on the strength of the ignite. We also rebalanced all energy gain across the board. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, the issues were that energy gain was flat, or the issue was that energy gain was flat. So it didn't matter how you inflicted an ignite or how you inflicted a chill, and it didn't matter what you inflicted it on. So they wanted to make it so that you could reliably, say, do a cast on a boss, but the end result is that because of how reliable it was to do a cast on for the boss, if you're just hitting regular enemies, and let's say we'll use the example that they had from the reveal. Let's say you had cast on Ignite and you had Firestorm. Well, they wanted it so that, every so many hits you were casting Firestorm on the boss, just like you would plan on for your build. And preferably even get to the point where you are keeping a Firestorm up on the boss just by attacking it. Like, that would obviously be the build goal you're trying to achieve. Well, in order to do that, they had it tuned so that if you hit enemies, you could just wail into a crowd of enemies and it would just summon a flurry of Firestorms down. So that's obviously really good for your clear speed, but probably too good. So they're adding in, so there is a system when it comes to like war cries and stuff like that, where you have monster power, where the power of the monster affects how many charges or whatever you get for the war cry. So they're adding this to this for energy. So now when you hit a boss, you get more energy. When you hit a little dude, you don't get a lot of energy. The other thing that we're talking about is, again, it didn't matter how you ignited. So if you had a weak ignite that was reliable, that was the easiest way to get your ignites off, your cast on ignite off. Now they're making it so whatever the magnitude, because you have this whole magnitude thing for when you're using a skill to try to freeze or ignite or whatever, they're making it so now that is in the equation. So you will charge these skills faster with more powerful abilities than you will with weaker abilities, which to me does two things. Now, it solves the spam issue, but it also to me feels more thematic. The whole idea that it's like, I'm going to want to hit you with the strongest ignite I can to charge up my power feels more thematic. And then two, this potentially actually makes it a tool to make your cast on ignites more reliable during boss fights, so that maintaining a continuous cast on ignite. Because if you can tune your ignites to the point where you just get a ton of energy every time you hit, then you can just reliably do it. So in many ways, this could potentially make this even more reliable. But what it's going to make it do right now, is it'll make it less spammy. I think I saw Gazzy talking about this because he's, of course, using SRS. And he said that this does not kill that. It just, it does not kill the SRS thing. It's still good. You just, you have to change your build a bit. All right, ultimatum changes. Generally improve balance across the board with ultimatum monsters, bosses, and modifiers, mostly targeting outliers that were too difficult and bringing them in line. Monster density of ultimatum encounters has been made more consistent. Stormcaller runes, blood globules, heat, heart tethers, and impending doom rings no longer spawn while a player is on a lift or near the altars in the Vol Core room. Fixed a bug where player minions could get stuck at the top of the lift in the Trial of Chaos. So, and then we've got a whole bunch of bug fixes. We're not going to read through all of these, but there's a lot because the game does still have a lot of bugs and a lot of rough edges that need cleaned up. All right. Alrighty then. It is time. Probably got roughly a half an hour that I'm going to get to play. Once again, I've got another project that I'm working on. So I'm going to play until dinner time, go eat dinner, and then come back and I'm going to be working on that project. And once again, until I can get my connection more reliable, which I do not know if I'm ever going to be able to do, but I don't know if I'll have the funds. I have to keep my webcam down. Where's the cord for my... There it is. Keep burying this cord. I need to clean this corner up more. Ah! Stop it. It's bad. Hate cords. I wish there was a way to maintain proper latency without cords. Oh, shoot. That's right. As long as I'm not in the character screen, I can still activate this with controller. All right. So one thing I wanted to do is it looks like I missed some encounters, so I'm going to go hunting. I'm going to do some hunting, and then we're going to come back and we're going to look at the town. Ah, stupid sinuses. Alright, so let's go hunting. So I need to find... Need to find the waypoint. Where is the waypoint? Something is flooded for now. No waypoint? Isn't there supposed to be a waypoint? Ah, here's the waypoint. Okay. Just missed it. Alright. So we're going to go back to Act 2. If I understand how these screens work. So all of the gray skulls and icons I have successfully done. But if we come here, there is one skull here that is not gray. And it looks like it's on the Halani Gates. At least that's what it looks like. And I can't... Forward command tents. Yeah, Halani Gates. Okay, so I can use my cursor to take a look. But I can't seem to get the cursor there otherwise. So I am way over level content here. So I should be able to find this relatively quickly. So I'm going to look for the forward command tents.
You shall fall!
Hold them back while I open the gate.
Open the way.
I am curious how they've got drop streams for leveling.
Advance with me.
Of course, most ARPGs have like an XP skew that makes it so that if you are over leveled for an area, you don't earn as much XP, you don't get as much drops. In QE1, this was mostly a currency thing. And, well, it was XP across the board, and then it was currency also got adjusted until you got to, I think it was level 67.
I've no more room.
Shoot. Okay. You have to do something about that. You do have to do something about that.
What of
Young one.
Alright. Needs to actually go to the stack, please. Alright. We got a quality flask. I don't know if I should hang on to those or not. Try to get glass blowers later. Oh yeah, I had one of these that's actually better. So let's go ahead and take care of that. That's a better mana flask. I think this is a better life flask. Nope, my current life flask is better.
Young one.
That's a cold resist. Should augment that. 77 armor, 7 lightning. Those are both relevant, so we'll go ahead. This is the lesser one. This is the lesser one. Mana's not relevant. I need to fiddle with that. I want to actually see if maybe what I missed was a spirit. So for now, I'm going to put this away. Put this away. Because I might end up doing the spirit. We're going to do this you. Increase charges. That is not going to work. I'm pretty sure.
What?
Well, and it's also quality. Is this a? No, this is a grand. So we're not going to do that. Let's put this in leveling for now. Maybe see if they address that. We have an exalted to potentially do a slam later. This is going to go into regal fodder. Got a bunch of shields in regal fodder. We'll go ahead and slam this, see if we get lucky. 21 life. Okay. So now this is going into regal. Let's go talk to Sin.
What a...
What?
Doop and doop. All right. We are ready to go. Actually, we'll go ahead and stash this for now. Stash these. We'll come back and use those later. I don't know if I'll do that tonight. I might do that tonight. But for now, back to the gates. See if I can find this command tent.
Open the way. Shatter!
We're gonna go pure damage. Again, picking up mana flask. I'd prefer to pick up like colossals, but my mana might need some. Yeah, I might need. It's reached to the point I might need more mana than those can give me. So.
Dodge this!
Here's the forward command tent. Alright. I am way over level for this. So just to show, you can definitely over level for things. Alright. Doesn't look like there's anything there. It was just getting that rare and getting those drops.
How can I advise?
Alright, so these are going to get sold, and then we're going to do the
What?
disenchant on the regals, or on the rares. This is not bad. It's got the fire, but I want some better. Oops, I meant to do the darn. Oh, I can buy back. I can buy back. Yeah, I can buy back. Oh, disenchant. There we go. There we go.
Young one.
I got some regal shards. Yay! All right.
Better keep my strength in check.
Now, we literally just missed something. I thought I did a good job, but apparently I literally just missed something. Even though I think I did it? Like, I think that was the rares that I killed? I'm gonna go back, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the Ziggurat encampment and try going back to through from the entrance. I think that was the rares I killed, but I could be wrong, I guess. I know I killed the boss, and the boss is shown as dead on my thing. The map shows that I killed the boss. Bloody loading screen. Whereas the last one was like, yeah, we're gonna remind you every loading screen who you're working with right now. Now it's like, yeah, we're gonna remind you every loading screen just how many atrocities this fallen empire is responsible for. I can hit enemies that are downed. Because it sometimes feels like I can't hit downed enemies. I'm pretty sure I should be able to. But that could just be how things work because of the fact that they're doing their downed animations and not seeing them do. That's the one that will also trigger that. I wonder how many iterations of leech they're on now at this point. Like, they said this strengthening leech. I'm like, so are we changing how leech works again?
Out of mana.
Whoops. And I'm in the degen puddle again. Hate it when they drop the degen right at their feet. Which, of course, if you're immune to your own degen, you would do that too. And that's basically what Righteous Fire is. Even though you're actually not immune to your Righteous Fire degen, you have to build around it. Alright. But this is what I thought that was in reference to, and I thought I cleared. Damage taken from minions first, Trail of Ice. I'm gonna get slowed. Now I think I should be able to finish him off relatively easily with the big hammer. Explode nearby corpses, which he just did. Extra energy shield. I think that was supposed to be... Did I not grab grab it last time? Did I forget to grab it? Is that the issue? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that was what I missed. I think that's what I missed. If that's an important pickup. Yep, and now it's grayed out. Okay. That is what I missed. Do I have any uncut support? Do I have any uncut support still? First, let's go talk to a hooded one.
Greetings. Move swiftly.
Alright.
You're the one who waded to the undead in the marsh, eh? Truly, you need a guide. Luck's on your side today, friend. I am such a guide. Maybe I can help you survive. Not all tribes in this region are so friendly. You would be wise to listen to me on the dangers of the jungle. Yes, you are lucky indeed.
All right. So the staff, not quite where I need it. This one needs to be disenchanted, and then not quite where I want it either. Real quick before I leave this menu, let's take a look at this ring. All right, want that to be a little bit better. 69% more recovery if used mana. We'll buy both of these and roll on them. We will buy both of these and roll on them. See what we get. Okay.
What do you need?
All right. So now let's go here. Well, let's roll on these first while I'm thinking about it. Charge and kill an enemy. Increase charges gained. I really need some like passive for now. Maybe eventually I can do the others, but enchant, or no, not disenchant, we're gonna sell.
Beware,
I'm gonna want to gamble.
my tribe can use it.
All right, see if I've got any uncuts. Okay, so I got 2 uncut support gems. Let's see what I can currently engrave. Oh, I also want to grab... not Sunder. I want to grab Overwhelming Presence. Alright. We have not gotten more spirit. Pretty sure at least I haven't got more spirit. Let me go to my character. Alright, yeah, I've got 30 spirit right now. So we need to equip this to get some more spirit. We're going to put this one aside. stash this for now. Okay. Now, what am I going to replace? We're going to stock at this gem. I don't think I'm benefiting from spending armor break. I'm actually going to get rid of Leap Slam. Where is my... I want to get the magma barrier down here too, just so they're consolidated. There we go. Alright. So yeah. I don't think I'm benefiting from this right now, so we're going to turn this on. There we go. Toggle aura. There we go. There. That's now on no matter what I'm using. Okay. Now, let's engrave. So real quick, let me take a look at what supports I have. Such a funky shortcut here. Alright, so I've got Rage. I don't think I'm going to be using Rage. And Break Endurance. Support any skill that hits enemies, giving it a chance to gain Endurance charge when it fully breaks an enemy armor. Alright, we're going to grab this. Alright. Jagged Ground, which I can use to support rolling. Alright, let's try engraving these, see what we got here. I'm not gonna Bone Shatter, Conk Effect Bone Shatter. I like having it as my clear. Power, Ground 5, Rage. Break Endurance, we're gonna be adding in a bit. Alright, so Overwhelming Presence, Vitality. Regenerate 1% of life while supported skill is active. Yes, please. But it costs me 20 more spirit. And then Precision, 30% increased accuracy while rating while the supported skill is active. Okay, this might change some things. This might change my plans. Alright. We are going to grab both Vitality and Precision. Okay. So this changes things. This changes things a lot. All right. And we're gonna try something. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this, and we're gonna go ahead and grab this. Okay. And then we're gonna take off Magma Barrier. Right. And now we're going to go back in and we're going to grab Sunder. All right. We're going to socket gem. Yeah, I socketed that there. We are going to... We're going to grab off of Bone Shatter. We're going to grab... Oh, it wasn't on Bone Shatter. Oh, he's got it. Somebody should have it. Or where is it? Stomping Ground, Martial Temple. Here we go. Okay, it's off of Armor Breaker. Armor Breaker's got it. We're going to grab Brutality. We're going to put Brutality on Bone Shatter. Or on, sorry, on Sunder. We're going to put Brutality on Sunder. We're going to put... with any skill with an area effect, making it larger. Supports any skill that hits enemies, making it more likely to ignite. We're going to put Break Endurance on Armor Breaker now. We're going to put Jagged Ground on Sunder. I could potentially use that as like a slow effect. Let's see. For Ignition, I want to swap that out for something on Volcanic Fissure. What does Volcanic Fissure got? Fire infusion supports causing the game fire damage but deals cold. Making okay, we're not going to do that on Fissure now, but we will eventually. So I'm going to put this in the pile. Okay, Leap Slam's going by. Magnified effect. We will use that eventually, so that's going to go in the pile. Alright. So Magma Barrier is getting stored away. Alright. The AoE melee slam. I might put Magna Barrier. See. I think what I'm probably gonna do is we're gonna stash this. We're gonna stash Leap Slam. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my jewelers on Bone Shatter. And then I'm going to apply Magnified Effect to it. Alright, so now I have accuracy, and accuracy is going to be important. I've got a little bit of extra dex going on. So now we're going to go talk to the hooded one. I'm trying to avoid saying a certain name.
What have you learned?
We're going to
I've
refund
changed
passives.
my mind.
We are going to get rid of Resolute Technique. And then we are going to increase armor break duration, increased armor, break 15% increased armor. There. Alright. So now, and then let's do my keybinds, make sure everything is bound correctly. So right now, I have Volcanic Fissure, Rolling Slam, and Armor Breaker as my main combo, or Bone Shatter and Armor Breaker as my main. These are what I use the most. I've got Infernal Cry to buff and Perfect Strike for ending combos. I have Shield Charge and Sunder on my others. So Shield Charge to close to enemies, and then Sunder is now going to be a finisher on Break Armor. Is now it should crit. Alright. We'll have to see how that plays. Okay. Let's start talking to people. Hello again, old friend. You do not remember me, but the spirit that is encountering you. Who's calling me? Alright, one moment. Alright, somebody needs to change that at their system. That was one of my doctors. It's like, why is a doctor calling me at 6:30 in the evening? Alright. Anyway, hello again, old friend.
Oh, hello. I'm Elva Valai. We can always use another pair of hands around here. Be sure to... Oh, hello. Be sure to talk to Oswald, as he usually likes to greet the newcomers. In any case, welcome. This little excursion here represents my lifelong ambition. It's not just about finding treasure. I want to build an entire archaeological society someday. Rayclast has countless layers of history buried beneath it, and I aim to uncover every last bit. I intend to call my group the Reliquarians. A bit ostentatious, but the best things should be. A shame I couldn't have founded it a few decades ago, back when my birthplace Oriath was still a thriving city. Thanks to the Templars, relics from a dozen different cultures found their way to that little island over the centuries, and are now all lost, thanks to the disasters that happened there. So you're looking for a device the Vaal intended to use against the Cataclysm? Ah, so that's why you came here. Well, you're on the right trail. The ziggurat on which we stand was rumored to contain a device to save their people. If you want to explore it, you'll have to find a way to drain the city first. It's hard to guess what the device inside the temple might be. I do know that it was commissioned by Queen Etziri's thaumaturge, Doriani himself. The project was given all the resources it needed, and the work was kept secret, even from Etziri. As best I could translate, they claimed using it might mean abandoning all they had built. They seemed to view it as a last resort, a way to save their legacy if all else failed. It's not often I detect fear in Vaal writings, but they definitely hoped they would never have to use it.
I have a feeling this is how we're getting into the endgame.
By their final days, the Vaal were a deeply tiered empire based on brutal competition. Those at the top vied with each other through any means necessary, and Doriani was the foremost among these ambitious and immoral men. He was second only to Queen Etziri herself. Exile was the seat of his power, and ancient writings claim he undertook a vast array of strange projects and sordid experiments here. Some glyphs I have seen are too stomach-churning to discuss. How do I even begin to describe the last queen of the Vaal? She left a tremendous mark on history. She was intelligent, incapable enough to rule unquestioned over a bloodthirsty empire of volatile nobles, and the people adored her and feared her in equal measure. Vaal writings speak of her as the most beautiful woman in the era, but also the most dangerous. She sought eternal life, and she was willing to sacrifice anything to achieve it. The ruins around you are the result of those ambitions. Sometimes while I'm looting a temple, I remember that everything we find once belonged to a living, breathing person that probably died horribly. That sort of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, hard to be a gung-ho Indiana Jones style archaeologist when when you understand what's going on or what happened to the civilizations before you.
I've heard of the beast. Everyone has. If someone is truly trying to raise another, then they must be the grandest of fools. These very ruins around us are the result of an attempt to control such a thing. This is the only way it can end. Servi has been a fantastic ally to us here. Her people have lived in the vicinity of Exile for countless generations, so she's been able to show us all the most interesting Val ruins. The accessible ruins were all looted long ago, of course, but the lake around us has protected most of this city since the end of the Val Empire. That hooded fellow over there, he's a friend of yours, I take it? Seems to be one of few words. Oh well, I'm not one to judge the company you choose to keep. Oswald's gonna lose his wits if any more of you show up, though.
This is one weird thing about what's going on with the hooded one. I wonder if that's why he's wearing the hood. In the previous game, most mortals could not detect him. Like, he could go completely unhidden. It makes me wonder how Oriana tracked him down.
Something tells me you're the exploring type. We've got that in common.
Pardon me.
But some places even I steer clear of. I rather enjoy being alive, you see. Still, if you're feeling adventurous, there's fortunes to be made out there in the wilds. I'm especially interested in all things related to the Val. For academic reasons, of course. But a bit of treasure never goes amiss.
Alright. Friend Alva is back.
She's certainly optimistic.
What kind of stunt was that, traversing the marsh? Have to be smarter if you're to survive. As quartermaster, I'll do my best to keep you alive. I can buy what equipment you find, or sell you what others have unearthed before we ship it back to Kingsmarch. If you
Oh, so this
disappear
guy
in
might
the
be
jungle,
Calgurin.
I'll also be the one to note your death in our logs. You're welcome.
There's the cynic this group needs for survival.
How goes it? The ziggurat beneath us was once the temple of the sun god, one of the oldest built in the city of Utsal's religious district. It was in active use for at least 1,000 years.
Well, I wonder if this
But
was
when
a
the
temple
Val
to
cataclysm
Solaris,
struck,
or if the
the
Val
city
had
flooded,
another sun god, perhaps
presumably
even the
killing
cleansing
everyone
flame.
inside. Good thing for us, because this lake is the only reason it hasn't been ransacked by other treasure hunters already. One man's mass death is another man's treasure, I suppose. I log everything here, so I can catalogue the thousands of ways to die the jungle offers. If you can, be sure to write some sort of final entry detailing how you die. The death log won't benefit you, of course, but it will certainly benefit me.
And hopefully anyone else who
I
you're
don't
trying
mean
to
to be
keep
overly
alive.
fatalistic, but the amateurs coming from Kingsmarch are accomplishing nothing but feeding the chimeras. The most I can do, as quartermaster, is ensure they're equipped for exploration. That's where the real profit in treasure hunting is, you see.
Oh yeah.
I don't go out there if I can help it. I'm the unluckiest man alive. Yet, I'm the wealthiest in this camp. You have to be good when you're training with the Calgurans, or they'll fleece you.
Oh, so he might not be Calgurin himself, but yeah. No, the people, you want to know who got really rich off of the gold rushes in the 1800s? The people selling equipment to the miners. Most of the miners lost everything traveling west. But the people who were selling them their gear, they made a lot of money.
Ah, Kingsmarch. So called by the Calgurans. They're newcomers to Rayclast. About 20 years now. They're traders by nature. In fact, they've partially funded this very expedition.
They like expeditions.
For some reason, they're very interested in Val artifacts. We ship most of what we find back to Kingsmarch, and they pay handsomely for it. Don't get eaten. Osman Lakin. They survived 45. Bitten by a snake on the ankle. Legs swelled up to 3 times this size. Servi attempted to amputate, but baby snakes burst out of the cutting, and we immediately set him ablaze. Should have slit his throat first. Sorry, Osman. Mabel Sal. They survived. Unknown. Kept to herself mostly. Vanished at some point. Nobody's sure.
Uh-oh.
Oswin Shipwash. They survived. 98. Stopped to pet a chimera. Osman Lakin. They survived.
Okay.
What do you need? Apus is my grandson. Can you believe that? A young spry thing like me. A grandmother. Don't be answering that.
Wouldn't dream of
Apus
it.
inherited my son's rowdy spirit. Maybe it's a family curse. We have always been the type to do what we shouldn't. Like helping outsiders such as yourself. One day, he'll be a great man. Just like his father. Until then, I try to keep him safe.
Okay, can't do anything with that there yet. Something weird is going on there. Alright. Seeing Apis anywhere.
Somewhere in this region there were sophisticated canals and waterways. We might be able to use them to drain this lake. We must hope that the mechanisms are still functioning, despite their age. It is the only way to reverse the drowning of this once thriving city. The first step in our search for the secret knowledge of Exile. It is strange to return to this place of my divine youth and see it so aged and forgotten. When I was here, the Val were the height of civilization, and the future was bright. They had their problems like any other people, but I thought I could free them from the moral hazards of divinity by removing gods from the equation. While we are here, I would like to discover whether this ruination is my fault, or whether something else happened to them. Go.
Alright, so now we are searching for some waterways, and we got the jungle ruins. And this is probably... Okay, that's just a complete dead end. Alright, so I'm almost out of time. I'm gonna need to take care of myself in a bit. But let's go ahead. I have... Where's my stash? There's my stash. Where all of the other players are gathered. Alright. I have an Exalted Orb. So we're going to take this currency. Still don't... These again, as soon as all those available, I'm gonna start trading them. Quality of a martial weapon, quality of armor. Yeah, well, we should probably go ahead and use these. Alright. This needs a regal still. One away from the regal. And I might, depending on what I slam, I might be using that. Alright, so let's take a look at my gear first. So we got this big guy here. This can still use a slam. It has a suffix unused. I don't know what's available for suffixes. But I don't think a suffix is going to benefit me. I think that's probably already as good as I'm going to get there. Then we've got my current hammer, which is probably about to be replaced. So I'm kind of loath to slam it. We've got this helm. I could slam it for some potentially getting more armor. But again, I kind of want to replace it. We've got this body armor. This body armor is I'm also trying to replace. I've got all this stuff I'm trying to actually upgrade and replace. So, we could try to get a life roll on this. This might be where I slam. I might slam this. But I think I have some stuff. I might try using my next Chaos Orb on this before I slam it. If I find a Chaos Orb, but they've reduced the drop rates. I'm trying to currently craft a replacement for that. And then this needs a Regal. So let's go and look at the other Exalt Slam options I've got. Okay. So this is currently increasing my speed, so getting an attack speed would be nice. I need to get both attack speed and life for gloves to be a replacement. So that is probably, unfortunately, probably going to give up on these gloves. Because I need to get, I need life and attack speed first, I think. If I'm going to replace my, Lactonials. Alright, we do have this armor. This is a really good armor roll, really good regen, really good resistance for fire. We're going to see a lot of fire, I'm pretty sure. So this needs a life roll. So I'm trying to slam for a life roll on this. I should make sure. Oh yeah, I've got 2 prefixes free. I need to slam for a life roll on this. And I need to try to slam for a life roll on this. Which one do I prioritize? That's a good question. Well, getting more resist on this would also be good. Alright, stop it. Keeps going to search. Alright, let's pull this out of here so I stop driving myself crazy. Alright, so now I should be able to take a look at this. Alright. So I could potentially get there's lots of potential goods I could get off of this. So... Oh... What do I slam first? I think I slammed the one... I think I slammed this because, like... Alright, we're gonna do the amulet. We're gonna do the amulet. Ready? Bam! Increased critical hit chance, increased critical damage bonus. So this has now become a bit of a crit amulet. Still got a prefix free to potentially get a life roll. Alright. So we are going to stash this. I'm going to continue to use my armor on my Lactonial. Because again, it's going to probably stick around for a bit. It's going to be a while before I can roll something better. And that's now at 18%, so... And then... we're going to use this on my big mace. Now it's 17%. Alright. And I think that's all we're going to do for today. I know that wasn't a lot of gameplay. That was more just trying to figure things out and plan through my thought process. But that's also important. That is also a part of Path of Exile. So for now, I'm going to go and get some food. I'm going to then enjoy some memes. But again, we're not going to do any reactions on this channel. And then I just realized I didn't record any of that. I gotta get better about that. And then it is back to work on 40k stuff. So until next time, this has been Exiled Erdrick. I'll see you all in Rayclast.